Should everyone wear a tie?
Not necessarily, because you can look clean and sharp and well presented without a tie. I mean, look at Bishop right now. You know? And I'm glad that you actually wore that, because we do a lot of pieces that are able to transition into exactly your look. You can be dressed up for the boardroom, or you can dress it down to go to the movies.
Say that one more time. That's called...
I call it Garanimals Pogrom. It's not an actual real name.
I didn't know, but I've been doing that for years. That was really called I Only Got 3 Suits.
Wilson came out with, he was wearing the suits and the sneakers, and everybody was going crazy. So it depends on the confidence. Sometimes you can have a suit on and you walk around like, yeah, you know, this is all I had, as opposed to coming in like...
I'm gonna tell you, JJ, seriously, I don't have no confidence to wear a suit and sneakers, but when I saw you do it, I think my confidence is building up.
Yeah.
I think one day you're gonna see me on stage with a suit.
But you know what though? I found out skinny people can pull off stuff that we can't.
That we can't do.
There's a difference between tight and fitted. Talk about that, please, because some people just don't get it.
And you know, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, there are people who just kind of overkill.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, and again, I love fashion, but I mean, sometimes when you take it over the top, it just looks ridiculous. So give us some suit tips.
Where should my sleeve? Where should my sleeve fall?
So you can see about a ½ an inch of your, if you're wearing a French cuff, of your shirt.
So my jacket is too long, and Bishop's is Bishop's is about just right.
No, Bishop's is just right. You know where that go.
See,
you know where that go, Bishop.
Like guys whose their cuff is under their shoe.
That's
like where should it fall?
You should have a nice small break as your pant hits the top of your shoe.
What is a break? I'm clueless.
The break is a little small indentation in your pant as it hits your shoe. Now, a lot of Europeans like to have their pants straight across on the top of the shoe. We call that flooding. But it's a fashion statement.
Hold on now, flooding is in.
It is, it's in.
Too much flood is not in. Hey everybody, and welcome to Mailman, and I'm Hezekiah Walker. And I know many of you probably wondering, what is Mailman? Mailman is issues from a male's perspective. And I am so happy to have my boys with me today, JJ Hairston and... what do we call each other? I mean, you know, of course, he's a prince in the Lord's church, and I don't want to be offensive. You're a prince in the Lord's church.
Right. What is that?
You want to call you Prince?
What is that?
we know what that is.
We know what it is.
777-9311. Anyway, I'm excited to be here, Bishop, and of course, you have risen from the choir director to presiding prelate, and of course, I serve at the pleasure of Bishop Paul Morton as the Bishop of Worship for the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship. But this is a different format here.
Yes,
so
yes.
we're among friends, we're among brothers, so call me Murph.
Murph,
Yeah.
Murph, that's what it is. And of course, you always been JJ.
Yeah. And I can't call either one of you Murph or Hezekiah. So that's not happening. So forget it.
That's not happening.
Bishop, I respect you guys too much. Not to say you're disrespecting each other.
Oh, please.
I'm the low man here. I'm just in honor of both of you. You both my mentors. So Bishop and Bishop.
Okay.
You the mailman here.
Yeah,
He's the mailman.
We're all the mailman here. So,
well, listen, today we want to focus on fashion. You know, we want to talk about how fashion has affected us as Black men.
Yeah.
Wow.
Growing up in society and also growing up in the church. You know, I was thinking about it today, you know, when I woke up this morning, thinking about how fashion has changed. Right. And JJ, you always, you know, you bring it.
Bishop,
you bring it, of
please.
course, Murph.
Can the camera get this zipper here?
Can they get that?
No, it can't get the zipper.
Please show this zipper, because
On the jacket, on the jacket.
everybody ain't able.
No, listen. I'm trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out the lapel flower thing. I can't get it right. But Bishop, you always got
Always
it right.
have it right.
Always got it right.
Always have it right.
He came
Never
for me
too
right
much.
there, but it's all right. He came for me, Bishop.
Never too much, never too little, just right.
Man, well, to God be the glory for the
Yes,
things
Lord.
he has
He
done.
has
That's too churchy.
Too
This
churchy.
is a mailman.
It's a mailman. Well, listen, it is what it is. You know, of course, whatever is in you is going to come out.
Absolutely.
But now back to this fashion. You know, of course, we've all seen fashion evolve.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I was growing up, we had 3 sets of clothes in our home.
Yes, sir.
We had play clothes, school clothes, in church clothes.
Come on here.
And we could not wear those clothes. We had to wear those clothes whenever we had to wear church clothes with church clothes to church.
Right.
We had to wear school clothes to school.
Wow.
And our play clothes, we wore those clothes outside.
And
Now it's like
and you bet not wear them school clothes to play.
you better not wear the and you better not wear those church clothes to
But
play.
you know what's so funny now? It's funny you mentioned that because my son wears his play clothes to church, wears his church clothes to school, and wears his school clothes to play.
You see that?
So it's like you don't know what's going
don't
on.
know.
You know what direction this generation is taking as far as fashion is concerned.
But I mean, as an African American brother, you know, and then of course being in the church, you know, what is your take on fashion?
Well, I think somebody said something very powerful to me one time. They said you need to dress how you want to be addressed.
Exactly.
So I've chosen, because you know me, I used to wear, you know, all hoodies and jeans, and I mean big hoodies, big jeans and sneakers. But when I wanted people to notice that I was getting older and I wanted to be addressed as a man, I started to dress more mature.
Wow.
Not that I have a problem with people who wear, you know, baggy jeans or whatever, but it's just if you appear that way, that's how you're going to be addressed. People are going to look at you as the dude on the street.
So dress how you want to be addressed.
Yes, sir.
That's strong.
That's strong. That's powerful.
That's strong. I think, Bishop, while you were talking and you said I started dressing different because I wanted to be addressed as a man.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things that we've lost in our community is the presence, which is the whole purpose of the show, is to provide a strong male perspective. But I think we've lost that in our community where one of the things that I'm encountering in my church is there are boys in my church who have no concept of tying a tie.
No clue.
They don't know what it is to shave because they've never seen it.
Yes.
And so fashion really has become reflective, man, of our generation and just where we are in terms of the missing male perspective. And so I'm excited to be a part of a forum like this where we can talk about it because it really is affecting our community.
It is.
You know, we had this whole phenomenon about Trayvon Martin and everybody was wearing hoodies. And it represented this kind of movement, but at the same time, it was in terms of relative to fashion, it represented something that wasn't necessarily positive in our community.
So you said something key. I mean, how important is it to really help our church and help people that come to our church to help to understand that it's not just spiritual, but it's also natural as well.
Absolutely.
So, because a lot of times we walk away with the spiritual food, but we don't walk away with the natural, necessary things that we need to really, like, you know, I have people in my church that don't even know what to wear to a job interview. I'm loving this because we're providing a practical outlet where we become so spiritual that we're no earthly good. And so just to be able, like now, we're developing something. We have the men in our church, we call them the protectors. And we're developing something now. It's an entire curriculum where we're walking boys through how to groom themselves, how to shave, how to, man, I've got kids in my church that I have to take in my personal bathroom, show them how to wash up, show them how to apply deodorant. I mean, it's a phenomenon that's happening in our community. And of course, fashion has a lot to do with that because now with we talked about this in the last show, we talked about this whole come as you are mindset where now, you know, I'm preaching at church in some fatigues and a t-shirt. Yes.
You know, it's different. You know, first Sunday I'm with my clergy on, I got my chain and my ring, and then the next Sunday I'm in, you know, some cargos and a tee. But all of that is relative to our community. So we're coming back now where we're having to teach guys, okay, how do you tie a tie? How do you wear your pants? Where's your actual waist? Do you wear your, do you own a belt?
Good.
You know, I've got a 13-year-old and, you know, we're fighting over belts right now.
Wow.
Like, because I tell him, gentlemen, wear belts.
Yes, sir.
Because that keeps us steady at our core.
Yes.
Something spiritual about it, but practical as well.
Yes.
It's affecting everything that's happening in our community. The way that I wear my hair. You know, if my hair it's the whole happy to be nappy phenomenon. But if I walk in a job that way, is it realistic to think that I'm going to be taken serious?
Exactly.
Because fashion affects all of that, economically, spiritually, culturally. It's impacting us in ways that I don't think we really even have understood.
There's a young man in my church who actually went to a job interview and actually did not get, he was qualified for the job, but did not get the job because he did not have on the right attire.
Wow.
Bishop, you know, that's so true. I attended the University of Connecticut, and when I became a freshman, they had a program there called Inroads. So I'm thinking it's a way to get a job. So I was like, you know, I was getting a part-time job. But what they did was, everyone that enrolled in the program, and these were all minority students, they taught us how to tie ties, what you wear for job interviews, even when you're sitting down to dinner, where you get the forks from and stuff like that. Things that we in the African American community may not have learned coming up. And for some of us that are in the church environment, well, all of us that are in church environment know those people that don't have those opportunities. So we as African American men need to stand up and teach the young people that, you know, there is a certain way you need to look when you go for interviews, even when you're going to work, because after you have the job, you still have to keep the job.
You got to keep that job.
And they don't want you can't wear a suit for the interview and then come in jeans for, you know, the Monday to Friday.
Right.
So they need to be taught these things, and we as the church need to step up in that perspective, not only the spiritual perspective, but the natural perspective as well.
We're gonna provide some practical applications for that today, because you'll talk about it, but one of our guests is here, one of our homeboys who provides some real strong fashion in our community. I'm excited. I'm excited about it because he's ours.
He's ours. He definitely belongs to us.
Yeah,
and I think one of the key things about that, and we'll talk about him later, but one of the key things about, you know, a person like him who sets the tone for all of us.
That's strong.
That kind of know what we're supposed to do,
right?
But don't know how to do it.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that's so important in our community.
Right. And we as men, sometimes we know how to do it. We know what to do. We don't have the time to do it. You know. I get off work. I gotta go all in New York, because if you want to get any real clothes, you gotta go to New York. So
right.
That's what happened when you live in the suburbs. When you're at the University of Connecticut. You would smile.
You gotta come to New York. Come on now. Big up to New York.
Big up to New York. But really, so you don't have time to go away there to the city. So you have people like our friend here who are going to be able to teach us and actually give us the opportunity to purchase and whatever those things. So we're happy about people who.
Now I love my sneakers. I love my jeans. I mean, I just love just my throwbacks and my throw-ons or all of that.
Yeah.
But now, what do you say to an individual who love that stuff but hate suits?
Well, I think I think JJ said it best. Yeah. You got to dress how you want to be addressed.
Yeah.
You know, Paul talked about, I'm all things to all people. You know, you got to know how to, when you're in Rome, you know, you do as the Romans. There are times where, you know, when I'm with Bishop Morton and the College of Bishops, you know, and stuff like that, I don't have on my Dream Center T-shirt, you know, or my fatigues.
Right.
I have on my Episcopal garments, and I dress like I got some sense and like I want to be addressed. So you just have to learn how to kind of be a little versatile in how you do it.
And if you don't do that, it endangers your position with those people.
Exactly.
Because they may smile and shake your hand, but when they leave, you're like, you know, maybe he's not fit for what we're doing right now. So it's important that we learn to, you know, balance those type of things.
Wow.
Well, I think it's very important, especially in the church.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think, you know, it's important, but then you have another group who has probably taken that and gone overboard. Have you seen that?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like too much.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I saw that at JJ's church.
See, we dress like the Dream Center.
Come on here. I was there. I know it. I love it. I'm on my way back.
Yeah. And you know, that's very true, because there are some churches where it's casual all the time, and if you're not casual, you're almost looked at like, dude, what you doing? We don't do that. So there is a balance you have to find, but there are some churches where they go
faces coming
overboard.
before me.
Yeah.
I'm seeing outfits.
Right, like,
I'm almost afraid to ask y'all, what did y'all see on Easter?
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
You know what, Bishop? Let's talk about that in a quick second, because I think we got to go something very, very important.
Yeah.
It's going to bless everybody.
Everybody.
Come on.
Listen, coming up, we have fresh suits from Tayon. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Monty Holland, owner of the Tayon Collection. Now, there are several things to consider when wearing the suit. However, we're going to discuss one very important topic regarding suits today, the fit. Tayon provides a naturally contoured suit. However, no matter what your size is, whether you're big or small, you need to make sure your suit is properly tailored. Does not mean you have to spend a tremendous amount of money on tailoring. However, you should make sure you address a couple of things. For instance, the contouring of the suit, meaning the natural curvature of the suit. You need to make sure that you get whatever excess fabric in the back pulled and taken out of that suit so you have a natural contour. The sleeves of your suit need to be cut properly so that you show a little bit of your sleeve. 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch is usually good. And the bottom of your pants need to be cut properly so that they sit properly on your shoe. Get those things done properly, you'll look great in your suit. This has been a Fashion Impact Moment.
For the first time ever, stories of the trials and triumphs of African Americans have been gathered together in one of the largest Black history books ever made, the Family Roots Bible. For your donation of $119.95, the Impact Network will send you this must-have collector's edition Bible featuring a never-before-seen 200-plus page insert depicting the Black history of America. Call now, 1-800-495-3045.
Welcome back. I'm Hezekiah Walker, and this is Mailman. We're having a great time today, and I know you're probably wondering what Mailman is all about, but it's issues from a male's perspective. And I'm so happy to have my boys with me.
Yes, sir.
We do this every day, and we are excited. Today we're talking about fashion.
Yes, sir.
And my boys always dress.
We're talking about the zipper on JJ's jacket.
Man.
That is the highlight of this show today.
And the black and white flower that
Black
Murph
and
got
white
on.
flower that Bishop got on.
Won't he do it? Huh? Hey, no.
And when you're as cool as Bishop Murphy, you don't need a tie.
You don't need no tie.
What that's called is I left my tie. That's what and our guest today wouldn't give me a tie, but we still gonna talk about his
We
suits
still
anyway.
gonna talk about
gonna
it.
plug him.
I want you to welcome my guest today, and I'm telling you, I love him, and he is doing a phenomenal job with making sure all of us stay dressed up.
Incredible.
Give it up to Tayon, y'all.
What up, Tay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's up?
Well, first off, I feel like I'm up here with the Miami Heat of the gospel world.
Oh,
You guys are the real deal, all-star team. So, you know, shouts out to you guys, man. I really appreciate being here. Thank you so much.
Honored to be with you.
Man, we're glad to have you, man.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Am I the Birdman? Because I have tattoos.
I'm like D-Wade, man. You more like the D-Wade.
I'm just playing. I'm
man.
saved. I don't have no tattoos.
You know what I'm saying? Don't look
Oh, no, don't start that. That's another
This
show.
guy,
That's another show.
That's
That
another
is
This
another
guy
show.
is crazy.
But we are talking about fashion.
We are
Bishop.
talking about
We're
fashion.
Talking about fashion. And tattoos are a fashion statement nowadays.
Okay. That's another show.
That's another show.
Give us some starting on that
Another
show.
show. We'll get on that. But Tayon, listen, thank you so much for being very instrumental in helping us stay dressed up. Now, we've been talking today about how to, we view ourselves and how do people view us in the fashion world, and how do we stay relevant?
Well, you know what? Those are outstanding topics and extremely important, especially with everything that's going on in today's society. A couple of taglines that we use are number one, where the Renaissance man meets the new millennium man. Another one is, Tayon is where the custom suit meets the ready-to-wear suit at an affordable price. I'm a strong believer.
That's strong. Affordable. That's strong.
Exactly, affordable. I'm a strong believer in you look good, you feel good. You feel good, you hold your head up a little bit higher. You hold your head up a little bit higher, you exude confidence.
Yeah.
You exude that confidence, people perceive you differently, and it opens all types of doors.
Yeah.
So, we at Tayon are extremely sold on that mantra, and that's what we're going to stick to.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now, of course, I'm sure you heard Murph. I was gonna say, that sounds so. It don't sound right, y'all. It don't sound right. So let me just say, Pastor Murphy, Bishop Murphy, Bishop elect, right?
No, I'm Bishop.
Oh, Bishop.
I'm a prince in the Lord.
He's a prince in the
oil
Lord's
laid
church.
on and everything.
Bishop poured the oil over me and everything.
Listen, so you are real. You are
on my
authentic.
Tayon suit, he poured the oil all over it.
So now you heard Bishop Murphy talk about people in this church that don't know how to tie a tie. and same way with me, you know, how, you know, what can a person like you do to help them?
Well, we would hold a little bit of a workshop and teach guys how to do a couple of different ties. But even more importantly to that, everybody doesn't want to wear a tie. And what we do also is...
Should everyone wear a tie?
Not necessarily, because you can look clean and sharp and well presented without a tie. I mean, look at Bishop right now. You know? And I'm glad that you actually wore that, because we do a lot of pieces that are able to transition into exactly your look.
Wow.
You can take the jacket, you can wear it with the actual pant that comes with the suit, or you can take that same jacket and put it with the denim, and it rocks well.
It's funny, because that's kind of like you said something, the Renaissance man meets the Millennium man. And those expressions are sort of meshing nowadays, even in the boardroom, where it's not even just a church thing. There are guys who now are wearing denim jackets and shirts open, even in the boardroom.
Yeah, correct.
That's true.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, but we're doing something that's a little bit unique to the fashion world. I like to call it Garanimals for grown-ups.
All right.
What I mean by that is,
Hold on, I'm slow. Say, I'm slow. See, they try to act like, I admit it, I'm slow. Say that again.
We're doing something what I call Garanimals for grown-ups.
Garanimals.
And what I mean by that is, you can take a traditional three-piece suit, for instance.
All right.
The vest on that particular piece can be worn with a jacket from another piece. The jacket from that piece can be worn with a pant from another piece. So you do a couple of different things. You give yourself different options.
Right.
So you exponentially increase your wardrobe right then and there.
Right.
You also give yourself different looks, you know, where you can be dressed up for the boardroom, or you can dress it down to go to the movies.
Say that one more time. That's called...
I call it Garanimals for grown-ups. It's not an actual real name.
I didn't know, but I've been doing that for years. that was really called I Only Got 3 Suits.
Exactly.
And I gotta make this.
We called it mix and match.
Come on,
That's right. But see, what we're going to do is bring that to market.
Awesome.
You know, as you know,
Awesome.
Tayon came to market in 2003,
Killed
and
it.
we were pretty strong, and a lot of companies started to knock us off.
Right.
And you know, they say that flattery is the best form of imitation is the best form of flattery. I'm not so sure about that one.
I know that's right.
So I decided to do something a little bit different that wouldn't be so easily knocked off.
Right.
And what that is what we grew up on,
Exactly.
hooking things up.
Yeah.
You know, mix and matching things.
And more of a classic look that, see, what I love about a good suit is I can wear it 10 years from now.
Exactly.
And it still be in style.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you can wear it with shoes or sneakers, and it still looks good. Remember,
Yeah.
Russell Wilson came out with, he was wearing the suits and the sneakers, and everybody was going crazy. So it depends on the confidence. Sometimes you can have a suit on, and you walk around like, yeah, you know, this is all I had, as opposed to coming in like...
I'm gonna tell you, JJ, seriously, I don't have no confidence to wear a suit and sneakers, but when I saw you do it, I think my confidence is building up.
Yeah.
I think one day you're gonna see me on stage with a suit.
But you know what, though? I found out skinny people can pull off stuff that we can't.
That we can't do. So
and
what's
I'm
that
upset
saying?
about
So
that.
what does that mean? That means we gotta lose weight. That means I'm doing it.
My thing is
But that's true though. That's true.
You're right.
That's true.
I don't believe. I think it's you like everything you do. You got to look like you're doing it on purpose.
That's right.
Okay.
If you come in looking like, you know, this is all I had, as opposed to I left my shoes on, so I got my sneakers on, as opposed to this is what I'm doing.
Right.
People will perceive it differently. So it depends on the confidence you have when you put on whatever you're going to wear.
You know what I love about that too, Bishop? There's nothing wrong with being authentic. There's nothing wrong with being an original. I think that's what people appreciated about your brand so much is when it came out, man. It was just it was crazy fly. It was original. It was authentic, man. Just how does that feel to be like an icon in the fashion industry? I tell my kids I'm a fashion icon. they don't believe me, but you know.
Well, I certainly received that, Bishop, and I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
it. But you know, for all intents and purposes, this is in fact, we love everybody, but this is in fact for us and by us.
Yeah, man.
I got you.
You know, we made
And
this
that's strong, brother.
got
Exactly. This is for us and by us. You know,
That's
we
strong.
make it to fit our shoulders, our hips,
Yes.
our physiques.
Yeah,
and you know, to your point about
man.
skinny people being able to do things that bigger guys can't.
Yeah.
That's another major thing that needs to be addressed when you're putting on clothes. Right. You have to get it tailored, get the proper size, and get it tailored to fit your body type. And don't look awesome.
That's so true. You know, I was used to wearing big suits. Like I wear a size 40, so I went straight to the 44 size in the rack because I was used to everything being big.
He was the reason they didn't have our suits when we got there.
Yeah.
Skinny people want to buy the big suit.
Just pull it in the waist.
Exactly.
Right.
But you know, somebody started telling me, you know, if you have your clothes to fit better, it makes you look better.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I've started to wear more tailored suits, not tight. There's a difference between tight and fitted. Talk about that, please, because some people just don't get it.
And you know, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, there are people who just kind of overkill.
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, and again, I love fashion, but I mean, sometimes when you take it over the top, it just looks ridiculous. So give us some suit tips.
Yes.
Well, number one, you have to get your size, your proper size. Number two, you have to get it tailored. And when I say tailored, I don't mean you have to go spend a tremendous amount of money on it.
Right.
But make sure the sleeves are cut properly. Make sure the bottom of the pant falls, you know, at the right place on your shoe.
Hold on, because this is strong. What? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
So where should my sleeve? Where should
Well, I
my
like that
sleeve
sleeve
fall?
fall so you can see about a half an inch of your, if you're wearing a French cuff, of your shirt.
So my jacket is too long, and Bishop's is Bishop's is about just right.
No, Bishop is just right. You
My
know,
jacket's
you
too
know
long.
where that go.
See,
You know where that go, Bishop.
No, but I
'Cause
want him
you
to
want
tell
him to
our
tell.
viewers,
All right.
because there are guys who are watching who go,
Who don't know.
you know, like guys whose their cuff is under their shoe.
That's
like
way
where
too
should it
long.
fall? What
You
is
should have a nice small break as your pant hits the top of your shoe.
what is a break? I'm clueless.
Well, the break is a little small indentation in your pant as it hits your shoe. Now, a lot of Europeans like to have their pants straight across on the top of the shoe. We call that flooding. But it's a fashion statement.
Hold on now, flooding is in.
It is, it's in, exactly. But
Well, too much flood is not in.
too much flooding is not in. Then you have
Okay, wait.
High water.
What's
That's
flood?
called high water because
Yeah.
Oh, flood.
now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It used to be called high water.
Educate me.
Yeah, when your
Educate me.
pants look like capris, that's probably too short.
Exactly.
And on the back, you should hit right at the heel or in the middle of your heel of your shoe.
Okay.
You'll be good. But to your point, you have a denim jacket on, so it's okay for your sleeve to be a little bit longer.
How wide should your pants sleeve be?
Well, there is no real answer to that because there are different cuts of suits. There's a classic cut suit, there's a modern cut suit, there's a slim cut suit. Mine is a little bit
them
closer to the
skinny
bottom.
suits. I hate them skinny suits.
And a
with
lot of guys are like
Why do you hate the skinny suit?
I'm just mad at skinny people.
but there's a certain brand where their pants, I promise you, I'm not going to say the name, I'm not trying to get in no trouble, but I promise you the pants are about that big going down. And it seems like that's too big. So what is just too big? What is too small?
Because
was a
see,
fad.
I don't like to see men with suits and they're walking and the bottom of their
Yes,
pants is
Bishop.
just swaying like a dress.
Yeah,
But
that
some
was a
guys
fad.
love
They
that,
love
man.
that wide cut suit. They love that wide bottom pant.
What is that called? Elephant leg?
It's called a traditional wide cut pant. But now what's in now is more of a streamlined pant, a
Right.
stovepipe pant where
Without no
Stovepipe.
pleats.
that rise is taken up. I go with
Okay.
one pleat now because
Okay,
a lot of
one
guys
pleat.
are afraid of flat front.
Okay.
So it's either going to be a flat front or a one pleat pant for
What
me.
did you call that again? You called it a stove?
Stovepipe pant, meaning it's more
Stovepipe.
streamlined. That knee is brought in, the rise is brought up, but not too tight, and it kind of streamlines down into the bottom of the pant. So you still can see your shoe, but it's not a 15-inch bottom where it's wrapping your ankle.
Right.
So it's a nice streamlined stovepipe type of pant.
Stovepipe. You didn't know that.
Stovepipe.
I had no idea.
I'm going to use that Sunday.
Well, listen,
Stovepipe.
Tion, thank you for coming, and you have really helped me. So stovepipe
Stovepipe.
That's right.
And flood pants.
and flood pants.
The new version of high water is flood pants.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Mailman.